Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Isaiah Warlock here.
Surprise!
This video is going to be a tutorial on how to sound like the very heavily requested underground rap and trap metal artist, Seven. So Seven actually has a bunch of different vocal deliveries. The main ones that I'm going to be covering are kind of his raspy rapping kind of delivery that he does. His kind of stop to the club, you know, that kind of thing. But he also screams and he sings sometimes as well. So his scream, as far as I can hear when I listen to Seven, is basically just a fry scream, and it's very similar to Ghost of Blue, what Ghost of Blue does when he screams. So you can go check that video out if you want to see more or less how he does a scream. I also have an entire video dedicated to teaching you how to do a fry scream, which I believe is the type of scream that Seven does. But real quick, before we get into it, please consider subscribing. It's free. You can unsubscribe whenever you want, so you might as well, and it helps me out a lot. Also, a huge percentage of my viewers aren't actually subscribed, so if you do enjoy my videos, it helps out a lot if you hit that subscribe button. So I will be showing you guys how to do his raspy rapping technique, and also how to mix it afterwards, and how to do the whole pitch shifting effect he does a lot of times at the end of his songs. So make sure you watch the whole video. So to get the kind of raspy sound that he does when he raps, I believe there is some layering involved, but we will get to that shortly. The main way he does it is fry. And I've talked about fry a lot in my videos. It's a technique you can use for a whole bunch of things, including sing screaming, regular screaming, all kinds of screaming. You can use it in a quiet way to kind of get this effect as well. So the way I usually like to explain how to get the fry sound, if you can't already do it, is to imagine that you're getting up in the morning and you're very sleepy, because very often in that situation, we'll automatically do the fry sound, and we'll start talking. We'll start talking like this. I don't want to get out of bed. I'm really sleepy. Okay, so that's the fry sound, all right? It's very quiet, and you can make it a lot louder, and that's where the fry scream comes from. But for this, we want to keep it quiet. Yeah. And you want to make sure that you're not putting this somewhere a lot lower, like false chord or your vocal cords or anywhere like that. All of those places, that's not where you want to go for this. You want to keep it very high in your throat, in your fry range, and it should sound like this. I'm a rent-a-cop, rent-a-glock, lollipop, cowboy semi-finger ready, hey, I'ma hit the drop. So it should sound something like that, right? Now, once you've got that ready to go, there's sort of another technique, which I believe Seven layers on with the same fry technique, and it's very similar. But if you listen, you can hear that he's doing the fry, but he's also doing kind of a whisper sound. I'm a rent-a-cop, rent-a-glock, lollipop, cowboy semi-finger ready, hey, I'ma hit the drop. It's also kind of this whisper sound, and it's very difficult to combine them actually in your voice, which you can do it, but if you try to do that, you kind of lose the fry. So what I would suggest to get this sound is to layer one track of you kind of rapping with this technique like this, hey, yeah, hey, and then do another track of you rapping like this, hey, yeah. And the way you get that sound is pretty simple. If you just whisper, hey, yeah, and then you do just a little bit of compression, and what I mean by that is just push it a little bit harder with your diaphragm. Hey, you kind of get this sound, which is like a whisper, but it's a little bit raspy. It's not really fry, but it's more of a whisper with just a little bit of rasp, basically just coming from your throat. Hey, yeah, I'm a rent-a-cop, rent-a-glock, lollipop. Okay, so those are kind of the two techniques which I would suggest layering. Now, it's good also to make sure that Seven is just kind of doing both of these at the same time and just doing kind of a whisper plus a fry, something like that. That's entirely possible, but there is definitely some layering going on. So he could be doing 2 or 3 tracks of that kind of technique. But for this, I would suggest the easiest way to go about doing this is do 1 track of fry and then 1 track of kind of that raspy whisper that I showed you how to do. So once you've got both of your tracks in these 2 different techniques ready to go, the way you're going to mix them is first take both of them and put an EQ on them, okay? And if you don't know what EQ means, EQ is just a way that you can manipulate what frequencies are in a sound, bass versus treble. So open up an EQ effect, and what you're gonna do is a bass cut on both of these, and it's gonna make them sound a lot lighter and kind of thinner. And then after that, you're just going to put some very light distortion on both of them. Just maybe some very light medium overdrive distortion on both of the tracks. and then you should be good to go there.
I'ma rent a cow, rent a Glock, lollipop, cow with semi-finger ready, hey, I'ma hit the drop.
Now, another little extra thing that I noticed that Seven does a lot in his tracks, where he uses this technique, is at the end of the track, he kind of has like a breakdown sort of, where he takes the hook of the song and then pitches it down. So it's kind of a lower version, like, you know, that kind of thing.
The chainsaw to his face, the cut down to the life.
And so I'll show you how to do that. It's really easy. So you're just going to copy and paste over your hook or whatever part you want to do this to into a new kind of section, I guess. And then you're going to pitch both of the tracks down by 1 octave. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that right now on Audacity. Okay, so there you go. It should sound something like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you sound like Seven. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope it was helpful to you. If you guys have any other artists which you want to see tutorials for, make sure to drop them down in the comments. I've pretty much been doing all the requests that I've gotten. I've been making videos on all these artists. So if you have an artist you want a video on, make sure you leave it in the comments. Also guys, I'm now starting to upload 3 videos a week, so make sure you subscribe so that you see all of them. I'm Isaiah Warlock. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
Surprise!